Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a wonderful day. In today's video we're going to be doing the book review for It Starts With Us, which is the second book in the Colleen Hoover series, It Ends With Us. I already have a review for It Ends With Us up on my channel, so I will have it linked up in the card and down in the description box. So if you want to know what's going on, I suggest you watch that video first before you watch this one, because It Starts With Us pick up directly where It Ends With Us ends up. So I would rate It Starts With Us 4 stars. I think it was cute how Lily and Atlas story picked up and ended. Also, this book is duo point of view, so that means you get one chapter from Lily's perspective and then another chapter from Atlas's perspective, which I really like that because I like seeing the same story from the sides of different characters, because you always see that not everybody sees the same situation the same way, and I find that makes the books more interesting and more appealing to me. What I'll say about Lily is that she is one strong woman. Atlas, he's also a strong man. The way they have dealt with their childhood trauma and the people they became based off of their childhood is a miracle and a half. This book has a lot of letter writing in it between Lily and Atlas. And we can't forget about Ryle. I'll say Ryle has a lot of work to do. He's still growing. He's still got to go through some growing pains. But Atlas and Lily, they're strong individuals. Even though Atlas finds out some family secrets along the way, he's one strong individual for what he takes on, while also being there for Lily. He's been not only Lily's friend, but Lily's confidant, her lover, but also he knows no matter what's happened, he just wants her to be happy. And Lily, she's doing the best she can with the situation she's in, and she really puts her daughter first. Now, if you know anything about Lily's story, I won't fill in those blanks for you because you have to read It Ends With Us first to know how Lily got to where she is, and It Starts With Us. This book can be triggering, but it is not as triggering as It Ends With Us. But you still get all the same emotional feels of happiness and sadness, but then you also see a lot of growth. And I think the growth from It Ends With Us to where It Starts With Us is phenomenal. And it makes you think about second chances. It makes you think about picking yourself up off the ground after you've been knocked down. It makes you think about determination and always knowing what you deserve and not settling for less than what you deserve. It's really about you knowing your value and what you bring to the table. You knowing that even if somebody tries to break your self-esteem, once you're out of the situation and you move on, yes, it's going to be difficult, but you find the strength to build yourself back up when somebody is trying, or someone has broken you, or something has broken you. Doing what's best for yourself when you are broke is not self. You deserve better. You deserve to be happy. And no person, relationship, family can make you feel whole. The only person that can make you feel whole is yourself. And I think the book does a good job of showing you can come from something hard and something sad and something broken. But even though you're broken, when you put those pieces back together, you are beautiful. You are the masterpiece of your own design because you put in the work to make your life better. And sometimes generational curses come, but it's up to you to break that cycle. And I really believe that Lily has broken the cycle in her family. I believe Atlas has broken the cycle in his family, and they're determined not to repeat the same mistakes of their past. Are they fully healed from their past? No. Are there still going to be moments where something's going to trigger them and they think about their past? Oh, sure. But are they better equipped to navigate and still remain happy and focus on the future when those moments creep back in? Absolutely. The one thing that stood out to me in this book were all the letters between Atlas and Lily. I feel like Atlas really broke out of his shell because Atlas kept everything close to his chest because of what he's been through. But with Lily, he was not only open with her, he was also open with himself about his feelings and the things that he experienced for the first time. And the letters he wrote were beautiful. I think the letter that stands out to me the most starts on page 294. It's the letter where he tells her about the first time he knew that he loved. Okay, I'm going to spoil this letter for you. So if you don't want to know what the letter says, click off the video now. Dear Lily, I don't know if you're aware of the date, but we have officially been dating for half a year. Do people celebrate half a year anniversary? I would have gotten you flowers, but I don't like to make the florist work too hard. I decided to give you this note instead. They say there are two sides to every story. I've read a couple of stories of yours that even though they happened the way you say they did, I had an entirely different experience. You kind of brushed over the moment in your journey, even though I know it meant enough for you to get a tattoo. But I'm not sure you're aware how that moment meant to me. You say our first kiss happened on your bed, but that's not the one I count as our first kiss. Our first kiss happened on a Monday in the middle of the day. It was the time I got sick and you took care of me. You noticed I was ill as soon as I crawled through your window. I remember you taking immediate action. You gave me medicine, water, and blanket, and forced me to sleep on your bed. I don't remember being sicker than that in my entire life. I do believe you witnessed the most awful day I have ever lived. And I've lived through some awful days. But when you're in it, they seem to be nothing worse in the moment than a horrible stomach bug. I don't remember a lot of that night. I remember your hands though. Your hands were always near me, either checking my temperature or wiping my face with a rag or holding my shoulders steady while I repeatedly had to fold over the side of your bed throughout the night. That's what I remember. Your hand. You had a light pink polish on. I remember the name of the color because I had been with you when you were painting your nails. It was called Surprise Lily. You told me you picked it because of the name. I could barely open my eyes, but every time I did, there were your slender helping hand with your surprise Lily fingernail holding up my water bottle, feeding me medicine, and tracing my jaw. Yes, I remember that moment, even though you didn't write about it. After being ill for hours, I remember waking up or at least becoming aware of my surroundings. My head was pounding and my mouth was parched. My eyelids were too heavy to open, but I felt your breath on my cheek. Your fingertips were on my jaw, and you traced them all the way down my chin. I thought I believed that I couldn't touch you, watch you, but I had never felt than I did in that moment. It was exactly the moment when I realized that I loved. I kinda hated realize that moment in that moment. It was that exact moment that I realized I loved. I kind of hated realizing something that monument in the middle of such a shitty day. But it hit me so hard hard. I thought I was crying for the first time. I didn't know what to do with my, but man, Lily, I had gone my whole life not knowing what love felt. I didn't have the love a mother and a son should have, or a father, son, or until now, I never spent that kind of time with anyone unrelated to me, especially a girl. Not long enough to truly get to know a girl, or for them to get to know me, or for us to connect and deepen that connection. And then for that girl proved to be caring and helpful and kind and worried and everything that words. I'm not even saying it was that moment I realized I was in love. It was the first moment I realized I loved anything, anyone ever. It was the first time my heart had ever reacted, at least in a positive way. People had done things in my past that made my heart shrink, but it never expanded like that. When your fingers were trickling over my chin like a soft drop of rain, I thought my heart was going to swell so big my pop. I pretended to slowly wake up in that moment. I put my arms over my eyes, twickled my back. I remember craning my neck and looking at your window, seeing if it was light outside. It almost was, so I started to pull myself out of your bed, pretending not to know you were awake. You sat up and asked and I had to swallow before I could get my voice work. It barely did. I said something like, your parents, you told me you were going to come back about. I nodded without thinking because I was still sick, but I had to get out of your bedroom before I did something to embarrass myself. I didn't trust the feelings that was buzzing beneath my skin. It was creating, burning, look at you and say, I love you. It's funny how as soon as you feel love for the first time, suddenly have you desire profess. The words felt like they were forming right out of my chest, though I was weaker than I'd probably ever. I had never lifted your window and crawled out of bed. I shouted and flattened my back in the old wall of your house and exhaled. My breath turned to fog, and I closed my eyes. After the worst 8 hours of life, somehow I cracked a smile. I thought about love the rest of the morning, even after you came back again once your parents gone, and I spent even after you came back once your parents gone, and I several hours at your house. I was thinking about love when your surprise lily fingernail would flash across my line of sight every time you checked my temperature. I think about love every time you walk into your room and adjusted the covers, tucking them under my chin. I think about love. And when I finally started feeling a little better around lunchtime, I stood in the shower dehydrated from being sick, yet I somehow felt like I was standing the tallest I ever had. The whole morning and into the rest of the day, I knew something significant had happened. For the first time, I had a flicker of what I knew life be. Before that moment, I never gave much thought to falling in love or having a family, or even having the idea of cultivating a success. Life to me had always felt like a burden I had to bear. Something heavy and murky that made me wake up cold and falling asleep a little bit scared. That's because I had gone 18 years without knowing what it felt like to care about someone so much. You want them to be the first thing you see open your eyes. I even felt a desire, something of myself, because you were the first person I ever wanted to become something better for. That was the day we laid on your couch together. You told me you wanted me to watch your favorite cartoon. It was the first time you had ever snuggled up your back to my chest as laid under with your arms wrapped over. It was hard to focus television words I love you still prickling there, way up in my throat, and I didn't want to say it. Couldn't say it because I didn't want it was past, or that these words held no weight for me. They were the heavy damn thing I ever carried. But I think about that day so much, Lily. I have no idea about, but I think about that day so much. I have no idea about that, what love feels like for everyone. Like an airplane that just fell from the sky, crashed right through. Because most people, they have love seeping in and out their whole life. They were born wrapped in it, and they go through their whole child protected by you, and they have in their lives that welcome their love in return. So I'm not sure it hits people like it hit me in one small moment in such a colossal way. You were wearing a t-shirt I love. It was big for you, and the sleeve was always falling off shoulder. I should have been watching cartoons, but I stopped staring at that stretch of exposed neck and your shoulder. As I looked at it, I once again felt that incredible say I love you, and the words were right there on top, right there on the tip of my tongue. So I leaned forward and pressed them against your skin, and that where they stayed hidden quiet until I worked up courage to them out loud 2 years later. I had no idea you remember that kiss or all the time I've kissed your nut spot after that day. Even when I read in your journal, you rushed past in a hurry to get to what you considered our actual kiss. So I had no idea that it meant everything to you till the moment I saw your tattoo. I can't tell you what that means, knowing that our heart placed in every spot where I once secretly buried the words I love. I want you to promise me something. When you look at that tattoo, I don't want you to spell anything other than the words I've written in the letter. Every time I kiss you there, I want you to remember why I kissed you there. The first love, discovering it, giving it, receiving it, falling in it, living in it, leaving for it. I write this letter while I sit on the floor of Josh's bed. My experience with Josh tonight kind of what sparked my memory. He's sick with a stomach bug. Maybe not as I was the day I first realized I loved him, but very sick nonetheless. He caught it from Leo, who had it a few days. I've never taken care of a person before, so I have no medicine at all. I think I'm about to make a farmer's run. I might slip a letter under your apartment door on the way. It isn't fun taking care of a person. The sound, the smell, the lack of sleep. It's actually almost bad person caring. Every time I check his temperature or force drink water, I think about how cared with such gentle parental intent. I'm trying to reciprocate that in my care for Josh, but I don't think I'm as good at this as you were. You were so young, just a older than Josh now, but I'm sure you felt much older. I know I did, even though we had. Hello, what? Okay. We've been through things no kid should ever have been. It makes me wonder if Josh feels age or if he feels older than he should because of all he's been. I want him to feel young for as long as he can. I want to enjoy his time. I want him to know what love is long before and I hope that love has been seeping slowly to him so that it doesn't hit him all at once like it did. I want him to grow up with rap surrounded by it. I want him to witness. I want to be an example. I want us an example for him and for Emerson. Me and you, Lily. It's been 6 months. Move in with love. Okay, that letter was powerful, and just remind that you don't need to have fame, money, or anything to show somebody that you love. Lily did a small thing for us. Well, I wouldn't call it small. If you read it ends with us. But the small thing she did in that letter by just taking care of when he needed to be taken care of, she gave him something that he never had in love. And everybody needs to be shown because love changes a lot. So let me know. Think about in the comments. Let me know if something read. Did you pick up in Sun, which is the first book, because you have to end with us. Read start. So remember, I'm always thinking of you, my love. Bye for now.